Um, okay, so we got some good names on these teams. I like it. We
Yeah.
got we got Gygus, or is
And
that
we've
Gyga?
got bands too. Good lord, they are ready. And there's
Yeah,
Tracer. Boom, Josh. Get
yeah,
that
there it
tweet out
is.
there right now.
Late game.
No mages, just Tracer.
I'll hold this for me while I tweet. Oh man, here we go.
Oh my goodness.
I am so excited to see this.
And Jaina Morales instantly locked by disaster area. And you're just
Jaina,
so excited. I
I
hope you're saying cheers love the cavalry's here
yeah,
because the cavalry is being joined by Zagara and Thrall.
oh wow, that is a damage lineup.
Woo!
The only bad thing I can say about that is not a ton of hard CC. I mean, we have the root from Thrall. Jaina first pick really. I don't know about this. The Jaina Morales is so early.
I
I don't
feel
know.
I feel like Jaina is gonna be in big trouble from this tracer, and who knows? We may see some of that awesome water elemental kill the tracer craziness that Dustin Browder was.
I don't think it's that good, TBK.
Are
Yeah,
you saying that Dustin Browder doesn't know what he's talking about,
I
Josh?
have big respect for D bro, but I just like you could just get away from the elemental.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. It
Just go
seems to
back
me
behind your
like
team.
yeah, a tracer would just go away and wait it out.
Or her team she blinks back through her team kills it on the way through. You know?
Sure.
Unless the Jaina micros it very well.
Yes,
That's most
or
likely
or
to
if it's
happen.
during a hectic team fight, as well. And then that could actually force Tracer out of the team fight, which would be probably pretty good. Disaster goes ahead and bans Diablo, and then we have a Falstad ban by late game.
Love the
So
false stat ban. That's
yes, very
very
good on
good.
this map, especially
Yeah.
takes Gust out of the equation. They grab Muradin, great tank. But I don't feel like they've got anybody that can deal with that Tracer yet, Josh.
And yeah, what do you do? I mean,
They
I don't
need.
think
I want to see a Rainer. I feel like Rainer and a Hyperion could do some work, especially with Stim Drone. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is the other one I was about to mention. Sylvanas is actually excellent against Tracer. And we might actually even see Mind Control popped out in this game.
I mean I guess I want to see what we're gonna get from late game here. So we have the ETC. Uther is an option. Tyrande. Okay, I like this a
This is a
lot.
scary lineup, Josh, by
Not
late
only
game.
not only is the Tyrande gonna enable like a lot of bursts and bring a stun to this comp, which didn't really before they picked up ETC, they didn't have like a hard stun, but Starfall potentially is gonna do a lot around
Yeah.
the Immortals, and Morales is going to have a problem dealing with
Especially
that.
after the recent buff to Starfall. Starfall is very powerful right now.
It's scary. It's honestly quite scary. So I would like to see a Starfall, and it has sort of been the prevailing pick
Hmm.
for Toronto players because of how strong it is.
But
It,
that will gimp her healing some as well. So it'd be interesting to see if ETC ends up going like
Prog Rock groupies.
Prog Rock groupies, because that would kind of offset some of that healing from Tyrande. But we have a Sonya last pick
I
by
think that's
disaster area.
I think that's fine. I don't think she's particularly good against Tracer unless she manages to land a Q, which like good luck.
Oh, look at this
Honestly,
Brightwing synergy, Josh.
this what a sight. What a sight to behold.
5 Brightwings when as I switch over to my game. Oh, that's just beautiful.
It's wonderful.
That's
The
just
fair,
beautiful.
the fairy
But yeah,
fairy
I'm
light.
I'm a little worried about disaster areas comp, Josh.
I think you rely a lot on getting a really like honestly with disaster areas comp, I think you're saying, you know what? Tracer is a fact of life. maybe we can just kill the rest of the team, because I don't think any of these heroes do an especially good job of killing Tracer. Although I concede that Sylvanas is probably their
Yeah,
best.
Sylvanas is probably the best Tracer counter they have. And like I said, it's a lot to give up that Wailing Arrow. It really is. Especially when you have the threat of a mosh pit. Because only Muradin and Sylvanas can really stop that.
Well, Mind Control actually does interrupt Mosh Pit now.
It does.
And
that was
there
a new
bugged
thing.
and it did not. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Wailing Arrow is probably going to be the pick. I think. I don't.
But if the mosh pit does, or if mind control does happen, then that's a really good Tracer pick-off as well. Because if you are even remotely in position when the mind control goes off on Tracer, that Tracer is dead.
I'm assuming she can't E out of it, right? Even though it's a
No,
like a
as soon as
status effect.
as soon as it hits, she's fully controlled.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's right. I don't know. Even on Tyrande, Mind Control would be good. If you could push her to a spot where she dies,
Yeah, I
that'd
agree.
be a pretty big win. But I guess we'll have to see. I'm sort of a Wailing Arrow purist, honestly. I will admit it. Yes, Mind Control has application.
Mind control still niche, right? It's still niche. I've yet to see it in a game I've casted, so I'm just really hoping for it because of that.
Yeah, I'm with, like, I wanted the Stim Drone auto attack Kale in the last series, so I guess I can't complain that you want something which is a bit weird. That was what I wanted more than anything, and I was denied. So
it's okay, Josh.
I'll get through it.
It's okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to make sure I don't mix my team names up since I've been saying Miasma and Squirtle Squad so long. So. Menchio is on Tyrande for late game. Gygas is on Zagara. Jack Burton, which I love, is on Tracer. Lean is on Thrall. And TGA2 is on ETC.
And on the side of Disaster Area, we have Vashta Narada on Sylvanas, Millara on Sonya, Arcanix on Muradin, Warnoth on Lieutenant Morales, and Icarus129 on Jaina.
All right, so we got a pretty standard 1-4 split coming out from Disaster Area. Thrall's going to go down to lane against Sonya. And then we got a nice early attack by Sylvanas. Good Lunar Flare by... Oh, man! Say good Lunar Flare by Tyrande, but Jaina just gets absolutely blown up. That Hunter's Mark just causing them to do work against her.
Yeah, and they really need... Yeah, again, Arcanic's very far forward, and the power slide is going to seal that. So, really need to respect the crowd control on the side of late game. Like, you can't be that far forward in lane, because there's so much crowd control. Nice! Sassy Tracer move. I love it. But yeah, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. And Gygas on Zagara is going to do a ton of damage while you are stunned. So you just need to play careful for the moment. TGA2 now taking a good amount of damage, but he should be okay. Jack Burton on Tracer looking for something, but not going to get it.
Thrall actually doing a really good job against Sonya on the bottom here.
Yeah, I think Thrall should win that,
He should. Yes, he should.
Overall, if both players are of equal skill, you would think that it should be a Thrall win. Do want to point out, we have Slipstream again for Tracer at level 1. So again, reducing the cooldown of recall and increasing the amount of time it rewinds to 4 seconds instead of normal 3.
Of course, we've got Ranger's Mark on Tyrande, not at all a surprise there. We'll have to see how some of these progress a little later. Jack Burton already starting on the Immortal, but man, lots of damage going down onto late games.
And it's actually really close. Okay, so they actually took the lead. Late game, I should say, took the lead. They should be able to outdamage if they want to trade, and it looks like both teams are going to trade.
Yeah, Disaster Area was in position to start first, and it looks like they will get this one.
It's actually late game's Immortal that's alive.
That late game's Immortal.
Yeah, blue team.
It's okay. I'm getting my teams mixed up. I knew it was
it's
gonna
okay.
happen.
You're just getting your bearings. It's all good. I do want to.
I warned you of this.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Jack Burton on Tracer uses Pulse Bomb to help make sure that he got the Immortal kill. So he doesn't have it. He's currently doing his best. He's about 50% charge, and it looks like they're kind of split. They're just gonna actually push with it while Thrall soaks top.
Yeah, and they should be able to get a little bit of value out of it. Again, these early Immortals, just not that much. Nice Snowstorm from Jaina, doing so much damage. They are going to grab one tower, not going to even quite be able to grab that second one. And Arcanix on Muradin being very aggressive. Nice Lunar Flare from Tyrande to disengage. But Sylvanas goes down in the meantime.
Yeah, you need to...
Did you see where that was?
She was top. She was top
She was
defending.
top, okay.
Yeah. So
Thrall ended up killing her.
So annoying from Tracer and actually, wow, great play by TGA. Actually knocks both Millera and Arcanix into the Pulse Bomb, and then Jack Burton on Tracer goes in, and I wanted to mention it.
And recalls out.
Talent, Parting Gift leaves behind 3 bombs when you use recall, and that bomb is what secured that.
Yeah,
kill.
that was the kill secure right there.
I really love the aggressive. This is a little bit different from the Tracer play we saw in our first series. Very aggressive, very like high octane, and
Josh,
to let people walk away.
As was pointed out, this is the Master Tracer skin.
Is it? It is.
It looks like it.
No, it is. It 100% is. So Jaina falls in the top, Sonya again, and now this is looking like a strong lead for late game. They have the 7 tier. They have the level 7 talent tier. They're really at this point. They have to clear the GoPros top, but otherwise they're looking all right. And Immortals are going to spawn.
Late game doing a really good job. They know the Immortals are about to spawn. They're clearing their Shaman camp right now, so that can be just pushing, adding additional pressure while they're fighting the Immortals. And good lord, Josh, I can't get over Jack Burton having the Master skin already.
Yeah, and he's showing some of the experience that he's gained already through that play. Being very aggressive, understanding when they can apply pressure. Pulse Bomb goes down to Millera. There's no follow-up, so he's going to start charging that Pulse Bomb from right now. Arcanix very low. Jack Burton trying to take advantage of that. The Stormbolt connects. Millera's looking for a spear, but not going to get it.
Yeah, and the Immortal fight is easily going over into late game's court right now as we hit the halfway mark. Man, Gygas is just doing an amazing job. Look at this creep spread, Josh.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and now they have to be very careful. TJ with the power slide, locking out 2 targets. Jack Burton's going to recall to get out of there. He's way ahead of his team. Arcanix jumps in the middle of everybody, but I don't know if he's going to make it out of this alive. He's so low. TGA2 looking for something. Again, great power slide. Power slides have been on point from ETC, and they're very close to securing a kill, but Warnoth is keeping everyone alive, TBK.
Warnoth is doing an amazing job. Both Arcanix and Millera were supposed to be dead.
Jack Burton trying to go in there and secure something. I love it.
You know, Josh, you might even call that cheeky.
It was rather cheeky.
Rather cheeky.
So here we go. Like, again, even though Disaster Area managed to not lose that fight, they haven't won one.
But look how low Disaster Area is right now. Like, this is scary for them as late game comes in full health, and they're just starting to pick them off. Jack Burton going in and completely on Warnoth right now. Doesn't quite manage to kill him, though, but they're going to easily get this Immortal.
He was so close to securing that, but decided against going completely ham. I don't even know if he had willing charges left. But, yeah, he didn't quite wrap that up. It was very close. But like you said, this Immortal is almost full shield.
Yeah.
Like, very close to full shield. And it looks like the team's going to push bottom. Thrall's going to soak top, where the Immortal is.
Yeah, and this is a good call, I think, by them, because this Immortal will last a little while longer, and the bottom fort is already half health. They should easily be able to secure it.
So I just want to point out level 7, Spatial Echo for Tracer. Again, that's when you recall, you get 2 charges of point. Oh, Pulse Bomb goes down to no effect in the bottom. They get the fort. Jack Burton gets slammed in the face. Gonna be able to get out of there. And in the
And
top,
level
this Immortal...
10.
Yeah, they get level 10. This Immortal is not going to get the fort, but he did get the towers.
No, they still got very good mileage out of that Immortal, simply because it got both the towers, and they were able to use it to secure that bottom fort as well as secure level 10. They almost are level 11 right now, 2-level advantage with heroics. They probably should be looking to force a fight here soon, Josh, I'd say.
Absolutely. And it is Shadow Stock for Tyrande, Devouring Maw for Zagara, Quantum Spike, which makes Pulse Bomb do an additional 10% of health, and Sundering and Mosh Pit, unsurprisingly. Wow, in the top, Ilian, great timing, uses the Sundering to make sure Sylvanas can't teleport away and secures the kill. Very well done.
Yeah. And he's just been 1v1ing people up top like crazy. Like, I know he hasn't been in the middle of all the action. Oh, TGA2 gets a mosh pit off, but gets interrupted. Shadowstock goes out, and Morales falls.
Yeah. So Morales stuck around, tried to heal Arcanix, who was caught in the mosh pit, and Jack Burton was having none of that.
Nope.
And just decided to hunt him down.
Jack Burton has actually done an amazing job at getting behind enemy lines and making sure that Morales just has a bad day.
It's just like Overwatch, right? When there's a Tracer behind you, you are constantly thinking, there's a Tracer behind me, look out for the Tracer. And Jack Burton is replicating that in Heroes of the Storm. He's constantly a threat in the backline, and the team realizes that they need to do something to peel for this Morales. And so far, it hasn't quite happened for them.
So, on the side of late game, not only did they steal the Shaman camp of Disaster Area, but they also went ahead and grabbed their own Shaman camp, so that's going to be pushing this entire time.
So the downside is they will lose the first half by about 4,000 HP. So they're going to need to engage into the enemy team. But
Disaster Area, this is probably the best opportunity for Disaster Area to grab an Immortal and to defend their boss, because they are on the same talent tier as them now.
This is going to be very close, TBK. Looks
Oh
like
my
actually late game is going to get it. Late game cleans it up.
Wow.
So, yeah, they have a lot of damage.
They do.
I want to point out heroics for the side of Disaster Area. It is Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas, Avatar for Muradin, Stim Drone for Morales, Ring of Frost for Jaina, and everyone's favorite, Uwa for Sonya.
Ooh-wah!
We went a lot harder than I did.
We are no Gilly.
We are not
Josh.
Gilly.
We are no Gilly.
No.
The Immortal did not have a whole lot of shield. It is going to be pushing top, but all 5 members of late game are pushing up. Sundering goes down. The Silencing Arrow does go down as well. ETC Moshpit does manage to grab Sonya. She has to leap out, and Disaster Area in full retreat.
Yeah, and so that was actually not bad for Disaster Area. They did not lose anybody, and wow, okay. They finally do lose Sonya. As I say that, Caster's Curse, but Ilian is going to try and probably just get out of here. He's posturing like he wants to re-engage, but it looks like late game is just going to pull out of here. Jack,
I mean, they really want to. All of late game is very low, but they're just not going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, they got the tower, or they got one of the towers with that Immortal around the keep wall. And it honestly was not that great otherwise, but, here's the thing. Late game has 13, Disaster Area does not. And late game is actually now 14.
Yeah, and late game has just done a really good job holding this level lead all game. And Disaster Area is going to have to be really careful with these next engages, as late game does have the talent lead.
So we have late game rotating the bottom lane. I'm not sure exactly what the intent was here, and now TGA is going to power slide out. Stim Drone actually is wasted. Wolf.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, that really does hurt. So Miller's going to get the Stim Drone.
That's a huge cooldown.
It's not going to do much. The Goat Bros suffered the wrath of the Stim Drone, but beyond that, not much else.
Or Goat Bros.
Bye, Goat Bros.
Goat Bros.
So we have Immortals coming up. There are no camps on the map to capture, although there's a couple coming up very soon. Both of the Shaman camps coming up very soon.
Yeah, Disaster gonna go ahead and take advantage of late game being in the middle. They're gonna go ahead and grab both these towers in the gate. Late game is rotating up, but Sony's gonna have to be kind of careful. Just manages to dodge the engage. Mosh Pit is up though. Sundering is up. Maw is up. So this could be really bad if Disaster Area doesn't get good placement.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. And it looks like late game's actually willing to trade again. I think they're confident in their superior damage at the halfway point, and they're actually narrowing the gap quite substantially. They're under 5,000 damage behind, and they overcame a deficit like this last time. Arguably, their damage is even better now because of the level difference. But actually, it looks like they want to make a play. Looks like they maybe want to defend, but no. And they are going to go in. Alien opens on Arcanix, doing a lot of damage. In the back line, we have Millerud that is just destroying Tyrande. In the front line, the Maw goes down, hitting Warnoth, but that's it. Tyrande does fall, and we have Sylvanas and Sonya down. TGA sealing this with a mosh pit.
Wow.
My goodness, TBK.
That fight was all over the place, Josh.
Yes.
But at the same time, late game really just played that so well. They were able to just pick stuff off. Sonya did a good job taking Tyrande down, but beyond that, they were just too split up. And man, Tracer and Thrall had a field day.
Yeah. And again, I've actually, you know, in the 2 games we've cast with Tracer, I've noticed that there is a tendency to have the fight sort of spread apart because of Tracer's mobility.
Yep.
That things tend to move towards, like that, the fight stretches out over a greater distance because of her. And some comps are better at dealing with that. And I think as we continue playing with Tracer, we'll figure out which comps are best suited to those kinds of fights.
Yeah. Late game is in trouble here. The Immortals got a halfway decent shield, but more importantly, late game is their 16 talent tier, and Disaster Area does not. This will probably be a keep for late game.
And Millerud goes in. It will fall. Arcanix almost died to a pulse bomb right before that. Sundering goes out. Ilian wants to get something out of this, trying to engage on the Jaina, but Jaina has Morales healing her. So it looks like they will get the keeps. Wailing Arrow goes in, TBK, but really no follow-up.
Well, yeah, and it was the exact same with Ring of Frost. Icarus landed a really good Ring of Frost, but everyone was pulled back so far that all it did was just kind of stall out. The Immortal does hit, and we do have a little bit of permanent core damage.
Couple of percent, but yeah, late game is not willing to commit to this, and probably rightfully so. They are kind of low, like some members are low on health. Even though they have the talent tier advantage, they have a moment here to try and force another fight. And Gygas is actually going to see that they're doing this because of his great creep spread. It doesn't look like his team is going to move to intercept this.
Disaster Area still not 16, with late game almost at level 18. Man, Disaster Area just needs to soak to 16 and do it fast.
Yeah, at this point, Disaster Area needs to be really careful. Look at Gygas. This is aggressive positioning, and yeah, he's
in big trouble.
The
rest of his team is rotating up, but not in time to finish that off. And this is actually a really big get for Disaster Area.
I would like to point out that Gygas had aggressive positioning, but I like what he did. He did not blow the Maw when he knew it was not going to save his life.
Yep.
Because the cooldown on Maw is 2 minutes. That's a lot longer than the 40-some-odd seconds that his death timer represented. So
no, and that's a great thing to point out, because a lot of times when you're in that position, you get scared, and you use the Maw because of that. Well, but he was smart. He didn't bow to the fear, Josh.
Well, look at the situation. He's just now respawned. There were no situations in which his team could have really benefited from a Maw. So it was the right choice, absolutely. And now Jack Burton looking for a flank. TGA just zoning for the front of his team here. Tyrande was kind of far up, and he did a good job of just trying to zone the back. But look, Disaster Area TBK has...
Yeah, they're getting a really nice lead on this Immortal fight. TGA looking for a mosh pit right now, especially underneath. Huge Sundering goes out, and Medic goes down.
That's a big Ring of Frost, but and Wailing Arrow
Wow.
goes in. Wow, Icarus and Vashta just doing so much damage.
And they are gone.
There is such a thing as overstaying your welcome.
Yeah.
Here's the storm, and it appears that has just happened.
That was so unfortunate because Sylvanas and Jaina landed the perfect 1-2 combo. Wailing Arrow, Ring of Frost, Blizzard on top of that, but then there was no one else there to just get that little bit of damage needed to finish it up, and now late game's going for the core.
Yeah, so Morales has just respawned. Sonya's 2 seconds away. She does have Leap available, so we'll see if she can do it, but it looks like this is going to be game.
Yeah, there's just too much damage from this from late game's comp for them to deal with it.
Yeah, and good game to both teams. That was just a very dominant performance overall from late game.
Yeah.
I feel like in the shot calling department, and I don't mean like micro team shot calling, but rather like a macro decision making on the map.
Yeah.
I feel like late game had a substantial edge, which really helped them both secure the objectives and, more importantly than deciding where and when to fight, deciding when not to fight. You know?
Yeah,
and they did a good job.
Yeah, very, very good shot calling by late game. Very good tracer play by Jack Burton. I was very impressed.
I mean, I gotta give the MVP to Jack Burton.
Yeah.
He has obviously been playing this hero a lot because he has the master skin. But more than that, he demonstrated that he learned a lot from his time playing Tracer to level 10. Very aggressive, very cheeky, as you said. I think that's a good adjective.
Yes.
But that aggressive style of play that keeps the opponent on their toes all the time is part of why Zeratul is so scary, right? Like, the constant fear that there's going to be someone in my back line tearing up my Morales. It's scary, and they actually picked Morales into the Tracer.
Which was a little surprising, but at the same time, Jack Burton took complete advantage of that. Every single team fight that broke out, he was on that Morales instantly.
Absolutely.
And that Morales couldn't do anything.
Yep. I want to again, I didn't get a chance to do this during the game, but we have Bullet Spray again at 13. I very much feel like this will become the standard level 13 talent for Tracer, unless it is toned down. Because it increases the radius of melee by 50%, and it hits everybody in that radius. And
it's a big deal.
This is one of the coolest animations in the game. If you have not seen this, get on Heroes of the Storm, go to Tracer in the store, try her out, choose this talent. It is so cool. One of the coolest animations in the game.
Yeah.
But this talent is what allows her to wave clear. It's what allows her to do a ton of damage to grouped up enemies, which, because you have an ETC on your team, there's a strong potential that, you get a huge mosh, you go in, you melee. The play from Jack Burton was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And not only that, he went locked and loaded, which is probably the hardest of the level 16 talents.
It's absolutely the hardest.
That is you are actively reloading. So like if you have ever played Gears of War or something, to get that bonus damage when you active reload at the right time, it's basically this. And that's not easy to do in the middle of all the craziness that's going on.
Yeah, I actually do want to point out that at this stage, because with Tracer just having released this week, that talent is harder to use than it looks at first. You're like, oh, all I have to do is press D. But in the middle of a team fight, you're not staring at the bar.
No.
So you had to do it more by feel than by staring at the bar. And if you miss them consistently, it's actually a lot more damage to take one of the other level 16 talents.
Yeah, it really is.
But if you can consistently do it, locked and loaded is more damage. But it's also a higher skill cap. And I think I think what you said about it being the hardest one, I think we will see it used more often in the future.
Once people get more used to Tracer.
Exactly.
So, yeah, huge congrats to late game. excellently played, excellently executed. Um, I don't know, Josh, if I could give any tips for disaster area. The biggest thing I saw was there wasn't a whole lot of creep clearing done by disaster area, and that gave late game such a massive, massive advantage because they knew exactly where disaster area were almost the entire game.
I would agree with that. I just the only thing I want to point out is that I feel like the composition for disaster area was not great for clearing creep. Obviously, everybody on that team with the, I mean, even Morales can do it if you aim your grenade.
You got Morales Grenade, you've got Muradin Thunderclap, you've got Sonya Spin.
Yeah, but Sonya's spin is like you need that for survival. Like you can
Sure.
do it. Muradin's like arguably the best because you could go
Yeah,
burning.
the Thunderclap's not a big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not like having Johanna where you have literally 3 abilities. Like
Sure,
and they're
sure.
all short cooldowns, so you don't care if you use them. But yeah,
Well,
you're right. The creep coverage for Gygas
was
insane.
amazing. He did a fantastic job.
It was
with
basically
that
coast
creep
to
coverage.
coast, right? Like
Yeah.
like creep from coast to coast. Like he had it at their shaman camp. Like he knew what
Yeah.
they were doing at their shaman camp. So
Yeah, it was very well played by him. Well, Josh, that was a long night.
it
We had
was
some great games.
absolutely.
That was so good. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and watching. It was a ton of fun seeing Miasma Esports versus Squirtle Squad, and then late game versus Disaster Area. This is why I love Chair League, Josh. We got some really good games tonight.
You know, the division system, in my opinion, has really, really helped that.
Oh yeah,
Like having teams that are on the same skill level and they're able to learn things from playing the other team. Like it's so much more fun to cast, and
oh
hopefully
yeah.
for those of you guys watching it at home, hopefully it's also more fun to watch. Because I mean I love the close games. I think that's the most fun to cast. It makes those really big, crazy moments happen that seem to just make the hype explode. So I love it.
Oh yeah. I completely agree. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us